Just want to give a real quick apology for the audio quality in this video. My headphones were connected when I was recording it, and so that was the audio input. It's real bad. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to re-film it. Just turn captions on. Cool, bye.
Hello. This is not the video I was expecting to make. I was expecting to make a gorgeous, wonderful video. I say I have nearly 2,500 words of a script written. But I also saw the fucks that I gave. So we're going to get a nice rambly little thing instead. I want to talk about Supernatural, Series 15, Death of the Author, and fans and fandom. So, Death of the Author, great Lindsay Ellis video that I've linked about Death of the Author. It is the literary theory that we can interpret a work of art separate from its author, and that authorial intent is no more important or doesn't matter at all. Series 15 has been described by some fans as an ode to Death of the Author. The whole overarching plot of the series is that God, Chuck, has gotten tired of writing for his favourite hero, Sam and Dean, and so is going to kill them off by having them kill each other Cain and Abel style. And the brothers, unsurprisingly, don't like this, and so are going to kill Chuck. So, Death of the Author. Quite literally, Sam and Dean want to kill their author. And this has been read as a analogy for how the showrunners, writers, are acknowledging that the fans' presence within their work and that they are not necessary for fan interpretations. So Dab, current showrunner, has been showrunner since series 11. Saying as much on Twitter. He was saying how this is a collaborative project between fans and the show, and that really reflects this idea that this whole series has been about Death of the Author and the showrunners killing themselves and like handing the show over to the fans, saying it's ours now and we can interpret it how we want to. This was further shown through Becky. Now, Becky is a character that was really our first big meta element in Supernatural. If you are unaware, there are the in-universe Supernatural books, which follow Sam and Dean's lives. It's very weird. And Becky is a big fan of these books. We see her at conventions, and she's like a massive super fan. Dates Chuck at one point. Does a love potion on Sam at one point. And then we don't see her for years and years. And she comes back in series 15, and Chuck seeks her out to get validation, and she has grown up. She's not the crazed fangirl stereotype anymore. She is a mother with a family, using her love and her fandom and that community to support them. She sells merch on Etsy. It's a really wonderful display of how the writers and the showrunners have learned what their fans are truly like and have learned to truly reflect fandom. And I mean, I love this development that they've done for Becky, and I and many others thought it was a sign of better things to come. Chuck asks Becky about his endings that he's writing for Sam and Dean, the Cain and Abel killings, and Becky flat out rejects them. She says that they are not satisfying, they are upsetting, that the characters deserve better, that the fans deserve better. And flash forward now to episodes 19 and 20 of this series, and in 19 we kill Chuck. We saw what Chuck's ending could have been, and it ends, it finishes, he's gone, he has no more power, and Sam and Dean are free. And a lot of people were hopeful that in 20 we might get what Becky's ending could be, or we will just get to see them free from that authorial intent. That isn't what happened, though. What happened was Sam and Dean went back to exactly how they've always been and exactly how they were right at the beginning of Series 1, Episode 1, where Dean is the hunter going to die young, and Sam wants to raise his family and live a normal life. It was something Sarah Zed highlighted in her video on Supernatural from a few years ago. There's very little character development for the brothers, and what is really upsetting is we've got a lot of that character development in the last couple of years. I think the introduction of Jack brought a new dynamic, and that's all just been snatched away by a nail. In my big long essay that I had written, I had hope that it would end in such a way that it was them handing this over to us. But what it feels like is they killed off the author, said somebody can live free, we can live free, we can have control over these characters, and decided therefore nothing ever happened to them. I think I've got to touch a little bit on dftba because it shaped so many fans' viewing of the entire show. So much has been said about the queerbaiting of dftba. The videos I have linked about dftba are quite old now. A lot has happened since Jack came along, and for me at least, it read as if they were canonising, at the very least, Cass's love for Dean. It didn't, like some people have said in reaction videos, in my opinion, come out of nowhere. There was groundwork, especially in Series 15. We saw it in the What's Real About This? We Are Real About This Dean. And it had the potential to, in this last episode, for them to hint at canonising like a two-way reciprocal thing there. They chose not to do that. So dftba is very much the fans' viewpoint. That is the fandom, the Becky character, whilst when she wrote fanfiction in the first couple of times that we see her, she was a Wincest shipper. That was because Cass wasn't introduced yet. So when people were interpreting this as, so episode 20 is going to be Becky's episode, they thought there might be something hinting at dftba. Obviously there wasn't any of that. Instead it was nonsense. In episode 18, where they bury a gaze with Cass, it wouldn't have been so shitty if they had brought him back and had, like, keep the rest of episode 20 the same and bring Cass back in Dean's heaven and have them driving the car the entire time while waiting for Sam. I don't know. So doing what they have done of Cass confesses love, immediately die, and then the only get mentioned once in a passing line from Bobby, the fact that he's back and that Jack had a little help from Cass, which I missed when I first watched the episode, just fulfills every criticism that has ever been made of queerbaiting against them. In marketing for this last episode, they used Cass's face. In so many places, they allowed for the possibility that Cass could be back, which is queerbaiting, and it isn't okay. On top of that, the showrunners, after literally in the previous episode having the new god, Jack, say no more self-insert, no more authorial involvement, they covered the episode in named references to themselves, which I understand is like fun little Easter eggs. But when your whole series has been about killing the author, and then you cover your final episode in the author's name, literally, it just doesn't sit right. So I don't really know what my conclusion to this is. I guess you played yourself Supernatural. Like, they had this whole incredible Series 15 arc of death of the author, killing the author, allowing fans to determine what the show means themselves. And instead, they gave up on the last episode. I don't really know. It could have been good. It could have actually been good, but you didn't do it. I don't really know if there is anything else for me to say. I have more thoughts. I really liked the long essay that I wrote about supernatural meta and relationship with fans and death of the author, but it all just feels really hollow. Now, hot take, Glee had the best series finale of any show that has a fandom on Tumblr. That's all I'm saying. Alright, I'm done. Bye.